Yes.
Recording has started.
Okay, so it's June 12th, 2023, 12:12 p.m. Central Time. You can all convert your time. We are calling the World Community Exchange Board of Advisors meeting to order. We currently have Kara, Michelle, Lori, and Rosie in attendance. Alice will be here shortly. So that's our roll call. We do have a quorum. I do not believe that there are any votes that are pending on the table, but should one arise during this meeting, we do officially have a quorum. I understand that everyone has had a chance to review the agenda. If you have any issues or concerns, please speak now. Hearing none, the agenda is approved. We also had a recording of the meeting from 5/8. Please keep in mind that the transparent meetings are always doubled up, so that's why it's back that far in the date. Everyone has had ample opportunity. The Cornerstone had it in the folder, oh gosh, almost a month ago already. Does anyone have any issues or things we need to revisit for May 8th? Okay, hearing none, that recording is approved and of record. We will move on to the reports. We just had a discussion, does not need a vote. There was no objections. We'll put this in the meeting so that it's in the meetings, or in the minutes, sorry. That the Vanguard and Framework Advisory Report, much like the Cornerstone report, is redundant. We would rather have that 10 minutes for the executive committee. Kara will have to talk about what we call our executive committee because I don't think we've discussed that yet, but for now I'll say executive committee, to have a discussion, to have speakers come in, and to otherwise use that time more effectively. That means that I will go into Asana and remove those two tasks, and the rest will remain as they always do. That moves on to Alice's report. Unfortunately, there was no maker report submitted. We do need to ask that reports get turned in and get turned in on time. For this very reason, Alice is running late, and without her present and without a maker report, we have no information to discuss. That being said, I am going to step in here. As a Pathfinder, I'm in operations every day. I will let you know that we have gotten about 3/4 of the way through the maker project on the inventory. Kara, thank you so much for auditing. The next one's going to be powered by people. If you are ever wondering which makers are in with a particular broker, they have a file in the maker folder. So you can find it there as well. But you should be able to search. The way we're trying to set it up is that the vendor is searchable, but the makers are more importantly searchable. We're putting them in all the tags along with locations so that you can look something up, like type in all products from India and get that as well. We had some pretty serious price point issues, but those are being remedied as well. Kalara continues to be onboarded. They have made a decision for their company that they will only be selling in the US. They're struggling to sell to Canada. Totally fine. They're brand new and amazing to work with. So we've agreed to work with them on that. It is a change I can do behind the scenes in Shopify, which will simply make those products not available on a Canadian person's computer. So it won't come up as for sale. It will probably still show the products, which is cool, but it will not allow them to be sold. Other than that, we just finished onboarding 2 more independent makers. One in particular makes bum bags, and the fun thing for us, for the maker team this last 2 weeks is the bum bag shot up to the top viewed product on the site, which was fun. That was fun to let her know. We are 100% ready for more independence. Please reach out, go to your craft fairs. It's, 'tis the season from now through summer is the little fairs around the squares and stuff like that, and then the fall. What else do I know about makers? I think that's about it. Does anybody have any questions with how the maker team is developing? Okay. Hearing none, I'm going to move on. I know that the awareness advisor position is vacant. There is no formal report, but I did want to advise the Board of Advisors that we have decided to start paying for some marketing. We do not have it in our overhead, so for now it is coming out of my pocket. Just like overhead has been coming out of Lori's. So it will be limited, but it does have to start if we're going to start conversion. Please watch for us all over social media. At the end of the next 2 weeks, every board of advisor will have chosen their social media of choice. They will be monitoring it, interacting with it on a every other day basis. It has to be done. We have to have more voices than just mine. And I am obviously not an expert in everything. Lori has volunteered to do Facebook and Instagram, which is wonderful because we have been struggling to launch the store on Facebook because the Facebook restrictions nailed me because I used to teach burlesque. So we're moving the store and all of that over to Lori's. She's going to own it rather than I do. So those two are taken. Kira and Michelle, I don't want to put you on the spot, but if you know off the top of your head what you love and want to work in, please let me know. I've got, how can I put this? I have to be on all of them because I'm doing WCE, and that's why I don't want to be the one interacting, because liking your own thing is trash. It's just terrible. That being said, I am very comfortable on LinkedIn, and they tend to understand self-promotion better. So I will grab LinkedIn for now, but we need TikTok, which is also YouTube. We don't promote YouTube so much for subscribers, but we use YouTube to hold all of our videos that we then promote over everything else. So we need an alignable person. We need a Pinterest person. We need a TikTok person, and then just as a sub, YouTube.
Did you say alignable?
Yep, alignable, and everybody in this room's all in Wisconsin, so anyone in here could do alignable.
I've never
Because
even
it-
heard of that.
I've never heard of it.
It's a
I
business.
just looked it up.
Take a look. It's business networking. It's pretty fantastic. You get recommendations. It's like if Facebook and LinkedIn had a baby.
Okay.
So the platform feels informal like Facebook, but is formal like LinkedIn. So it's specifically for businesses instead of, you know how LinkedIn is to get a job? It's for people.
Mhm.
Alignable is business to business. Lots and lots and lots of small businesses. So there's makers on there. It's pretty cool. I've been on for quite a while. And when I say you'd have to manage one of these, it doesn't mean that you have to manage the stores. We'll still do that. We'll create the content, at least 3/4 of it. You should chip in whenever, but it's on you to make the connections and drive people to WCE and make them follow us and whatever. So alignable, Pinterest, TikTok.
I don't do any of the other two. I'm basically, if I get on, I'm gonna be honest, because I don't have that time to do any of this stuff.
Uh-huh.
So I used to be big on Facebook and the gram. I have accounts, but I don't use them very often. And I am on LinkedIn, and I can tell you my inbox is overflown because I don't have time to go on there. But I would be interested in Alignable. I don't do TikTok at all.
I can do TikTok.
But
Okay.
I'll try Alignable. I do.
Michelle,
Um,
alignable may help you with your day job too.
Okay, so I'll try Alignable. I'll do that.
Okay.
And I was gonna say I get on YouTube every so often. I get a lot of emails from YouTube, so I just don't, like I said, don't have really the capacity right now to
Yep.
do a whole lot in terms of. It's easy to share, right? I can share, but I don't like go on and look at stuff because I don't have a whole lot of time to do that. But I
So
will. Alignable, it seems like something that will be up my alley.
I think
So
so
I'll
too.
create an account and do that. And
Okay.
I will say you can put my name down as a backup for YouTube, but as far as the other ones,
I will do a loom on Alignable so that you don't have to try and figure it out yourself.
okay,
I'll just show you what I've been doing and where our stuff is.
okay.
Rosie,
Yeah.
would you, and as part of that, even if you use Alignable as the example, because that will help us who like will be taking over these quote unquote tasks to know what exactly you expect out of us or what the best way of doing that is, or because I just don't, I want to promote it in the right way, but I want to make sure that I'm promoting it in a way that meets,
Your standard.
well, yeah. And that it's like, okay, I can share, but is that what you really wanted us to do?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep, I'm with you.
Okay.
So here's the biggest rule about social media. Be on it every day. 5 minutes every day, 10 minutes every day will mean more than 3 hours on a Saturday. So even if, as part of your morning routine, when you're drinking your coffee, you open the app and you go to WCE and you do one thing, because it's the consistency that drives you forward, not as truly even more than content. So if you go in on a Saturday and you like 17 WCE posts, that does almost nothing for us. It just looks like a fan, or worse, a bot smashing us. But if you go in every day and you like something, and the next day you share something, and then the next day you make a few connections, and then the next day, just literally 5-10 minutes.
And then this is going to sound maybe dumb, but do we do it as ourselves or do we do something as WCE?
So one of the reasons we're divvying this up is I don't want any one person to have to know all of it. And the other reason is because you would be both then. So we will align you with the company. So you'd be like on LinkedIn, you're an employee of WCE.
Right.
On Facebook, you're an owner of WCE. So you would go back and forth.
Okay.
There, you go to WCE and maybe, let's say, okay, I'm just going to make this up. But this morning I saw this really great article. I shared it to the board of advisors. I used the little up arrow share thing. I could have up arrow shared it to LinkedIn. So I can share it as myself and tag WCE one time. And then the next time I just share it as WCE. So it's really the diversity of your action and the consistent interaction. So pick 4 days a week and say, or pick 5 days a week, or don't do weekends, or only do whatever, but consistently do it. 5-10 minutes. Because honestly, even if you had 3 hours on a Saturday for WCE, your time could be used more wisely. Reach out to me. We have a ton of special projects, right? And it doesn't help when you just go in on Saturday and bop them all. So one of the things you could do is you're on the email list for Constant Contact. I just sent out a newsletter about game night. Share that newsletter on your own thing. You don't even have to log in as WCE or anything. It's already branded. It's going to take them to our email. It's going to encourage them. So maybe one day you're bored and you have your 10 minutes and you don't like anything that's happening, then send them to our landing page to sign up for a newsletter. You can do whatever you want, really. There's nobody in here that's going to do something nasty. And everything else, is activity. And then keep in mind, so that's the top two. And the third one is don't try. Talk like you. You know what I mean? Don't. We're branding stuff. That's the awareness team's job. It's our job to make sure we're calling everybody the right thing and getting the right logo. And now if you see something, if you're bopping around Alignable or anything, and you see that it's the old logo or it's the wrong phone number, then just shoot a Slack. Thank you for doing that. But you don't have to fix it. Just be eyes. So you can literally say today, I woke up this morning thinking about WCE and how much I love doing this, or I woke up this morning thinking of the challenges, and then just at WCE, at World Community Exchange. If you see a maker, you're bopping around, YouTube's great for this. They have tons of maker videos. If I see a maker that's making cool stuff, I'll use my 10 minutes that day just to send them a message. Look over here at worldcommunityexchange.com. We'd love to feature you. This is Michelle. I'm shopping. This is not WCE botting you. I love it because, I sent one out not too long ago going, oh my gosh, I forgot, because I do rag rugs. One of the people that were doing rag rugs reminded me of a pattern my grandma used to do. So I just reached out to him like, oh my gosh, my grandma used to do that. It's so much fun, blah, 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 blah. I'm involved in this place. It took me 4 minutes just to tell the truth, and I moved on. And then, yes, when I usually use my phone, but I will use the computer and just loom. But if you're picking the app, it's probably for a good reason. Like Kara and I are on TikTok. Are we on it every day? Yep.
Yep.
And we would be even without WCE. So you're there for a reason. You like the app for a reason. So just keep being you on the app. Just remember to tag us when appropriate. One of the nice things is we do a coupon every month for whoever's birthday it is. You could always say happy birthday and tag your friend and say, remember, it's 5% off for you. But the more we interact, the better. But that doesn't mean time. That just means consistency. Okay. I must sit on your deck in the morning because Wisconsin, the weather is always interesting. So I like to go outside. And so I'll be sitting out there listening to the birds and having my tea. And, I hate to say it, but my first cigarette of the day. And I'm on my phone anyway. I just started making it a habit. But what ends up happening is I do one of the platforms a day, and that's not enough. Okay. So be our number one fan all over the thing you chose. So Lori, you're going to do Facebook. Kara's on TikTok. Michelle's on Alignable. So Alice, that leaves Pinterest, which actually is not bad because
I have an account on there. I'll have to check. I know I do LinkedIn, and I've done World Community on there, and I've actually gotten some solid reflections from it too. So
part of the reason I'm not worried about LinkedIn is we're all doing that one.
all right, I will
Cool.
get reacquainted with my Pinterest.
We literally are growing faster on LinkedIn than just about anywhere, and that's because all of us are comfortable with it. I get interactions on LinkedIn from y'all all the time. And then Lori, because Facebook feeds to Instagram, we're just going to keep that a bundle for you.
I have to learn Instagram, but I'll work on that.
Okay. All right. And that's all there is for the awareness advisor report. No, it's not. Sorry. One more thing. We're doing a campaign for interior decorators and interior designers. So Irka and I are in the process of developing it. We're going to do there'll be some paid ads too. And that's one thing. When we're going to have a paid ad somewhere, I will let the rep know that we're using their platform, because then watch that. That would be the easiest. You just forward all those. That's less than 5 minutes, right?
Are we, just a quick question, are we pushing interior designer services, or what's that about? I'm sorry. I know I came in late. I'm really sorry.
No worries. We're selling to them.
Okay.
That's the graphic we're hitting.
Okay. Because I have a friend from PTC who's about as fed up with the place as I was when I quit. Let me reach out to her and see if she wants to be part of this at all. She's really good.
Yep, because the idea is that our products are fantastic for people who are designing and decorating homes that don't want to look like every other one.
Yeah, and she's looking for new outlets. So I think that would be kind of cool because she's getting bigger classes now. Okay, cool. Let me reach out to her.
Okay. So now that's officially the end of the awareness report, which brings us to the book club. And because I do all of the yammering so far today, I'm going to defer to others to lead us down the book club path.
Well, I'm going to share one thought I had reading this book. When you look at the title, you automatically think, I'm sorry, this is just my impression, but I automatically thought it was going to tell me how I should be more humble and how I should be, or expect more humbleness, or I don't know exactly how I want to put this, but I hope you get the general idea. But when I started reading the book, all of a sudden, humble is actually like not one of the 7 great sins, but it's actually one of the 7 saintly virtues. And you don't have to, what's the word I want? You don't have to draw your attention to the fact that you're being humble, which was kind of strange for me. Because in my experience, when people are humble, they're almost like letting you know that, I could have been a lot more forward about this, but I wasn't. I could have taken credit for what I gave you credit for, but I wasn't. That kind of thing. That's not what this book is about, which made it kind of interesting to me.
Well, it's actually teaching you what humility is, because if you're telling somebody that you're humble, you're not.
My point
Honestly.
exactly.
So I like the idea of it. Really, it really dove into the importance of humility and what humility really stands for. I shouldn't have to toot my own horn or try to get recognized. Humility is let others do that. Let them do it. You don't need to do it. Because if you're really displaying that innate character or that character, it will show and shine for itself. And just you just showing up every day. So that's what I really liked about it. So, and I didn't mean to cut you off, Alice, so forgive me.
No, you put it better than I did, Michelle. So thank you for that.
I would say the part that I really liked was probably more so in part 2, because I guess for a long time, right? So like you're saying, well, if you have to tell people you're humble, you're probably not very humble, right? So for a long time, it was me, and it sounds bad, but sometimes, and I tell my mom this, you'll hear me say that, like, and I know your name is Michelle, but so is my mom's. I was like, I'm entering Michelle mode, right? Like my mom is a tornado of a woman. And sometimes I found myself like clinging on to characteristics that I probably didn't want to. So for a long time, I worked on asking, like, okay, how could I have done this differently, right? How can I see what you're saying and be different the next time that I approach a similar situation? And so in part 2, where it talks about like not getting mad, right? Like, do not, sometimes like I like to feel like I'm attacked, right? Or whatever happened, like I'm the victim in what happened. And that's not the case. Like I needed to find, okay, what was my piece in this? And I had to own that and then change it. So if I was ever approached with a similar situation, I didn't react the same way because it obviously didn't produce a good outcome the first time. So just like implementing those changes of, okay, I know maybe the way I acted wasn't right. So can you help me like be better in that area?
There was the one statement that says practice over perfection.
Yes.
It's like we're not expected to get it right the first time. But what you just said, Carol, reminded me of the other statement that was, well, if that's what they said about me, that was the worst they could say about me. They must not be aware of my other shortcomings or ignorant of my other shortcomings. I'm like, oh, yep.
Yep.
So here's the question, since we're wrapping up. Was this a book worth reading?
Yes. I actually gave it to a coworker to read, and she held on to it for like a good 3 weeks. But it's definitely one I would recommend.
You too, Alice? Yeah. I thought so too. I thought so too. It pointed out, how can I put this? I was literally talking to someone about humility and then used the book, and I don't do that often, right? I don't grab somebody's book off the shelf often, but I'm like, look, they said it better. Let me just read it to you. And I think that's a sign of something then you should have read it. And I think certain books stick in your head, and I don't even always remember the name of them. Like I'll say over and over, The Vampire Bus, right? Because it's a book we read last year. And I don't remember what the hell the name of that book was. I know Alice recommended it.
The Energy Bus.
That's right. In my mind, it's stuck. I'm like, it's the Vampire
The
Bus.
energy vampires, and that's why it's stuck in your head.
Yeah, don't let them take it. This one, for me, the takeaway was that pride is as important as humility.
That's what I was just going to say. One of the things that I think the book also brings out is, you know how, and I want to make sure I'm saying this right. We should all be proud of who we are. We should all be proud of what we've accomplished. And believe me, people, there's a whole lot of things that you've accomplished out there that you never will know that you accomplished it because somebody else is carrying it within themselves. Teachers and nurses, and I'm blessed to be both, get these later on in life. Okay, you find out where you really touch somebody. But the one thing that the book does is, I was raised in a household where you could not be prideful about anything. And I don't mean prideful in a good way. Like prideful was always a dirty 4-letter word. I know it's 5, but Catholic Church, And the book points out that, you know what? It's okay. If you're proud and you act proud, a lot of times the funny part is the humility comes with it because you got nothing to prove. And I think that is a really good message for a lot of women to hear, because we don't seem to get that back. We get it from our other women friends. Believe me, if you're still in my circle, I must be getting something from you. But we don't get it from everybody. And when you're working in a predominantly male situation, like I did for most of my working life, there was a part of that you weren't allowed to be proud. Again, it was the same kind of thing that I was raised with. So the book points out in a lot of ways that, you know what, humility has its own thing, but it's okay to be proud too when the situation fits it.
So I think the next book is supposed to be Dare to Lead.
Yes.
I do want to put it to the group since not everybody was present when we put this out here. Is everyone comfortable with that? Are we overwhelmed with the summer and we'd rather bump the TED up and the book back? How are we feeling? Because book club is not supposed to be a drain for WCE. It's supposed to be fun for us to do. And we're picking great books, but how do we feel about this? Because we do have that option.
I think for me personally, I have a ways to go to get my schedule together to what it needs to be, because so many things have changed in my life in the last 6 weeks. And I do know that I'm not proud at all of some of the things that I haven't gotten done. So for me personally, if we could hold it off till fall, that would be best. But I will go along with whatever the consensus of the group is.
Michelle,
I was going to say, I kind of second Alice's motion. I'm sure you knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Because I think, and I'm hoping anyway, the fall will be better. It's just been crazy for me right now, and I'm hoping things get better. and I can like reset my schedule here. But I do, since we talked about the title, who is the author of Dare to Lead?
Brene Brown. Kara, how do you feel?
I'm fine either way.
Well, I'm going to say on a selfish level too, part of the reason I would like to bump it back is I want Christy. And I know that's just me being me, but I would like all the voices that we have to be able to participate, especially in that particular book. I think that it's impactful as a woman-owned and run company. And so I'd kind of like to have the whole board be able to participate in that book, if that's okay. All right. So I'm going to give everybody today, tomorrow, let's see, it's Monday. So I'm going to give everyone till Wednesday. If you've got a particular TED Talk, and I'm going to say 15 minutes or less, a particular TED Talk you like, 15 minutes or less, drop it into Slack. It is not mandatory. We have a list already compiled, but not everybody had the opportunity to make that list. So if you don't feel like it, don't do it. But if you've got one that you're like, oh, I watched this on the repeat and it's easy, don't go researching. But if there's one that sticks in your head that you think is appropriate, please throw it in Slack because we want to hear from everybody. And then Lori and I will talk because we're not going to put 3 hours of videos on for this either. So we'll talk and we'll come up with something and put it into Slack. These two or one per meet or whatever we're going to do, but we'll figure it out. I just want everyone to have a second if they'd like to share one that they like. If you even TED Talk. And I don't think, Lori, you can speak up if I'm wrong here, but I don't think we care if it's a TED Talk, do we? I mean, it could be a YouTube video. It could be a...
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Nope. The ones that were already there were TED Talks because I was looking for a particular grouping of topics when I did them. And so I just found ones as I watched several of them that I thought were interesting and just grouped them because they had a cohesive theme, I guess I'll put it that way.
Okay.
No, but if there's an article or you know.
Yeah, let's keep it to videos so that we can do it while we're doing other things. I think that's kind of what makes them. Yeah, there's Michelle smiling. Put the earbuds in and we can still buy ourselves some time. And if we like, it was Lori's idea in the first place to but to augment our book schedule with videos. And if we like this in July, maybe we do it again in August. Give everybody a chance to catch up. But let's give it a try for the month because I think it's a brilliant idea. And quite frankly, it's free. You know, we're all buying
I suggested it.
right? We're all buying an awful lot of books, and some of them I'm keeping, and some of them I have no interest in keeping.
Can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
With the TED Talks. So I know as a part of my July research that I did, and some of them were just because I like these particular TED Talks, but it kind of, the ones I chose, actually one is more in line with something Lori is doing, which was fraud. But it was interesting. It's very interesting in terms of what happens, the mindset of fraudsters. So I did actually put that in my folder, I believe, as a part of my thing. And the other one was, it wasn't really tied to patriotism directly, but indirectly it was. And it was Color Me Blind is the title.
Ooh.
And it was very interesting. And that one is in there in my folder. So if both you, Rosie, and Lori want to take a look at it and maybe add it to your list, they're out there. But I thought both of them were interesting. I think Color Me Blind may go a little bit beyond 15 minutes. I'm not sure. I don't remember because honestly, when I watch it, I don't care about the time because the topic is just that interesting. But I'd be interested to hear your thoughts, honestly, if you guys have the time to look at
Yeah,
them. And
let's put it on the list. And then Lori, would you mind, since you organize all things, I know you have to switch the agenda for next month and all of that, but would you also just put together just a little shared document in the Board of Advisors folder with the list? And here's how I'm feeling about it. I think we're going to end up with more suggestions than time.
Yes.
So I don't see any reason why we all can't pick the ones we're interested in and then come prepared to share. If somebody else also watched it, then it's a conversation. If somebody didn't, then it's cool. You know, look at what I learned. I don't think we have to be that strict about all this. We're pretty laid back here. So we'll just compile a list. Now, the unfortunate thing is we had compiled the list last year and then proceeded to lose it. So we're kind of starting from scratch other than what Lori found. So we'll take the two from Michelle's folder and we'll just make a little document if that's okay. Nothing formal, but so that we can just click and link, click and listen. Okay. All right, then. Now we have, our next meeting is in 2 weeks, of course. It's the closed session meeting. And I don't remember what date. I'll have to look at the calendar unless Lori has it off the top of her head. June 26th. Oh, scroll down.
Yep, that's okay.
I have the agenda open. Scroll down. All right. So we'll see each other all for lunch again on the 26th. I don't know when Christy's going to be back, but I don't believe, is there anyone here that has an excused absence for that day? No? Okay.
I have a procedure coming up on the 22nd, but I will definitely I plan on still making it.
Okay.
And it's my birthday, and I'm 62 years old, and I just want everybody to know.
I'll bring cupcakes. Virtual cupcakes.
But yes, I plan on being here. I don't think I work that week. No, I think I'm off.
And then Michelle and Kara, there's an invitation to you both to join Lori and I for a craft thing. Sorry, Ellis, but it's in Wisconsin. Please answer that when you get it.
I'll cry, but I'll get over it.
Alice, I have a spare bedroom. You are more than welcome. I just can't tell you how to get here.
Is it in Madison?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. It's
You know,
there.
my son's planning on moving to Minnesota, so
Wait, what?
it'll be a lot
What?
closer. Yeah, my son is looking at moving to Minnesota within a year or so. So that's a good excuse to just come.
Mom has to come too.
Yes, I do.
I will be probably missing the closed meeting August 28th. I would love to say it's because it's my birthday, but it's not. It's because I have other obligations I have to travel for. So it is highly unlikely I will be back in time. But just to give you a heads up for your record keeping, Lori, that August 28th meeting is going to be a hit or miss. Other than that, I'm good to the end of the year.
And yes, I will get my reports caught up. Oh my God.
I gave yours for you today. You owe me a cake.
Thank you. I will send it. Would you like it from Goldbelly? Because
Yes.
they're really good.
Yes, I would.
My life is just a total mess right now. It's getting there, but it ain't.
We all have that in common. Michelle and Kara, please get it on the calendar for us to meet to continue working on the projects that you are working on for your positions. Okay?
Yep.
10 minutes, get back straight again, and then keep working in Slack. Okay.
I posted my TED Talk in Slack already. You see, when you catch me, I got everything ready to go. It's just, I'm ready to get it done.
Elusive.
Yeah.
Does anyone have anything else for today's meeting? Well, as always, I thank you all for coming. I love you people so much. I really do. I look forward to this for the 2 weeks. I'm like, oh, lunch is coming. I especially like the book club ones, to be honest. Every time I'm listening, going, yeah, I didn't think of that. And that's the best feeling in the world. So I think we will
Love
call
you too, Rosie.
Thank you. So we will call the meeting adjourned at 12:52 p.m. Central Time. Do the time conversions for yourself. June 12th, 2023. And other than the things we've chatted about, we'll see you 2 weeks from now. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Bye.